Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Srinivasa Biology Tutorials. The last previous section to discuss the plant kingdom. In this plant kingdom, algae. In that algae consists of as in a three main classes, that is in a Chlorophyceae, Pheophyceae and Rhodophyceae. First to discuss Chlorophyceae. The first to discuss Chlorophyceae. See, the members of Chlorophyceae are commonly known as green algae. It is called as a green algae because this completely the Chlorophyceae members consist of the major chlorophyll pigment, that is in the chlorophyll A and the chlorophyll B pigments as present. Hence it is called as a green algae. These plant bodies may be that unicellular or colonical or filamentous. Either in that unicellular filaments as present, either in that colonical means to bunch off, like as in the colonical, either in a form as the filamentous. It is in a filamentous form. It is in a single unicellular forms, unicellular and filamentous, and then colonical forms. And usually they are grasses the green due to the dominant the pigments as chlorophyll A and B. The major pigments as what? That is in a chlorophyll A as well as in a chlorophyll B is present. The pigments are localized as in the defined the chloroplast. So completely, for example, you take as in this filament, the filament they consist of as in the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B pigments as present. Hence, it is the filament to appear as in a green in color. And then here the chloroplast may be their discoid shape or plate-like structure or reticulate or cup-like structure or spherical or ribbon-shaped structure. Here the chlorophyll pigments as present, they having as a different like as a discoid, plate-like or reticulate or ribbon-shaped or cup-like structures or spirally arranged the members like structure will be there noticed in the different species. Next, the most of the members have a one or more the storage bodies is called as a pyrenoids is located on the chloroplast. You take as a chloroplast pigment. In this chloroplast pigment, there consist of as in some the oil drops like structures will notice. These are the oil drops as present. That oil drops are nothing but as what? Pyrenoids. That is in a pyrenoids. Now, the pyrenoids contain as in a protein beside the starch. In this completely they having as what? Starch is present. In some algae, the stored food materials in the oil droplets, like these are completely oil droplets. And then the green algae usually has in the rigid wall, the cell wall made up of as an inner layer is cellulose and outer layer made up of as an pectin. Now you take as any one filament, you take as any one chloroplast pigment. In this inner side they are made up of as an cellulose and outer side they are made up of as an pectin. Inner side is cellulose and then outer side they are made up of what? Pectin is present. Now in these algae members, mostly what type of the reproduction was takes place? Mostly in these algae members, the vegetative reproduction usually takes place by what? Fragmentation. This takes place by fragmentation. Here, any one fragment, unfavorable conditions to get breakdown into the small pieces. Here, each small piece, it is to grow as an individual filament. Such kind of reproduction is called as the fragmentation process. And hereby or the formation of the different types of spores. Sometimes to get forms as they are small spores also to get produced. And then the asexual reproduction is takes place by inflagellated zoospores. Mostly here the asexual reproduction is takes place by as they are biflagellated. How many flagella as present here? 2 flagella as present. It is the biflagellated zoospore. Biflagellated zoospore. And here the zoospore is produced by what? Zoosporangia. Zoospores as produced by what? Zoosporangia. Next to here see that sexual reproduction is there. The sexual reproduction is so considerable as the variation of type of formation of the sex cell, and it is maybe there isogamous, anisogamous or ogamous. Here mostly isogamous type. Here mostly they are isogamous type of. See, first isogamy. the similar gametes they get fused. Here the similar gametes are fused to get formed as a zygote. That is called as what? That is in a isogamy. That is in a isogamy. And dissimilar gametes, for example, I am taking here the larger one is male, and here the smaller one is, the smaller gamete is female. When they get fused to form as a zygote, these are the completely dissimilar. These are the completely dissimilar. Such kind of formation of gametes is called as an anisogametes. And last one is what? Or oogamous. Oogamous means what? Here male gamete is very small. Here the male gamete is very small, and then the large female gamete is present here. Here the female gamete they get fused and to get formation of as in a zygote. So this process is called as what? This is in a oogamous type. It is in a oogamous type. Now, after in some commonly found in the green algae like as in a Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Elothrix, Spirogyra, Chara, these are the completely in a green algae members. Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Elothrix, and then Spirogyra and Chara, these are the completely Chlorophyceae members. Next, Phaeophyceae. Phaeophyceae, it is commonly called as what? It is in a brown algae. Here Phaeophyceae, it is called as what, ma? This is in a brown algae. See, the members of the Phaeophyceae or brown algae, they are found as in a primarily that marine habits. So mostly they having as which habits? Marine habits. Next, they show as in a great the variation, the size, and to form their range of in a the simple branched filamentous form like as an ectocarpus. They have in a simple their branched form will be there present, and that is in a ectocarpus, and to form as in a profusely branched they are aspected by as in a kelps. It is there mostly they grow as in up to in a 500 meters like as in a kelps. See, like they grow as in a like up to in a 500 meters kelps. Next, which are their reached height up to as in a 100 meters. They are possess the chlorophyll pigment A and chlorophyll pigment A, chlorophyll pigment C. Here mostly which may be reach height of in 100 meters. It is reached as in a 100 meters, and they possess chlorophyll A pigment as well as in a chlorophyll C pigment also. And here additional pigments also they are present. They are the name carotenoids and then xanthophylls. They vary in color. Their olive green to various shades of brown depending upon the amount of the xanthophyle pigments. When the xanthophyle is present to complete they appear as in a brown in color. And here fucoxanthin is present in here fucoxanthin also they are present. Now, here the food is stored as in a complex carbohydrates. In this Phaeophyceae members, the foods are stored in the form of different carbohydrates with maybe the in a laminarian or mannitol. Laminarian or mannitol. The vegetative cells have in the cellulosic walls usually covered with as in a outside by as in a gelatinous coating that is in a algae. Here in this mostly in this Phaeophyceae members, that total Phaeophyceae members, for example I am taking here one Phaeophyceae member. In this Phaeophyceae members, their outer side they are made up of as in a gelatinous sheet is present, that is completely algin. The protoplast is contained, they as completely contained as in a their protoplast. In the addition to the plasmids and a centrally located vacuole nucleus is present, and the plant body usually attached to the substratum, it is called as a holdfast. See, it is the have one substratum is present. This substratum is called as what? This substratum. See, in this spot is called as a holdfast. It is called as what? Holdfast. It is the get help for as to attachment of any substratum. And then Next here, and that has a stalk also there present. So in this part is called as a stalk, and the stipe and is in a leaf like the photosynthetic organ is called as a frond. So it is completely as in a their frond. It is to get help for as what? To get consist of as a number of chlorophyll pigments as present, hence to completely get participate as what? That is in a photosynthesis. To get participate in photosynthesis. Next, the vegetative in that Phaeophyceae, what type of the reproduction was takes place? The vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, as usual, and asexual reproduction takes place most brown algae is biflagellated zoospores. As usual, here also the biflagellated zoospores as present, and that are the pear-shaped and has any two unequal, the laterally attached flagella is present. Here biflagella is present, but they are completely unequal flagella. Next, here sexual reproduction always takes place. The sexual reproduction takes place by isogamy, means they are similar gametes fused. Anisogamy means dissimilar size of gametes they get fused. Oogamous means they are completely male is small and female is they are bigger, they get fused. So this kind of the sexual reproduction is takes place. The union of gametes maybe that takes place as in a water within their oogamy or oogamous species. Mostly the gametes that takes place through as in a water only. The gametes of their pyronoids, the pear-shaped and pear-shaped, the two laterally attached flagella is present. Gametes completely have in which shape? Pear-shaped present, or pear-shaped two lateral flagella is present. It is the most common ectocarpus and Cleota, Laminaria, Sargassum and Fucus. These are the best examples for the Phaeophyceae members. Next the last one is Rhodophyceae. The next one is third class, that is Rhodophyceae. See, the Rhodophyceae is called as what? The Rhodophyceae is all known as a red algae. It is called as a red algae. The members of Rhodophyceae is mostly commonly called as a red algae because of the predominant the phase. It is in a red color pigments as present. That red color pigment is or-phycoerythrin. That is in a or-phycoerythrin in their body. The majority of the red algae, the marine within a greater their concentration found in a warm areas. See, here mostly in the red algae they consist of what? Their or-phycoerythrin pigment is present. It is also they grow as in where? In a marine or their warm areas also these members are to growing. Next, they occur in a both well lighted regions close to the surface of the water and also great depth on the oceans, whereas relatively the light the little light penetrates, means above the water surface in these Rhodophyceae members are to mostly grow. Next, the red thallium of the most of the red algae, the multicellular and some of their complex body organization. Mostly they are complex body organization, and the foods are stored in the form of the floridine starch. In this Rhodophyceae, they are mostly their food they are stored in the form of floridine starch, which is very similar to the amylopectin and glycogen structure. The food they are complete their form of amylopectin and then glycogen. And the red algae usually the reproduction was takes place. They are vegetative fragmentation. They are reproduced by an asexually non-motile spores. Very important here. The most asexual reproduction, non-motile spores as present, and then sexually, but that is also in a non-motile spores as present. Non-motile spores as present here. And here most of the gametes, the sexual reproduction, mostly here the sexual reproduction oogamous, the accomplished by as in a complex post-fertilization is developed. Only for this red algae, the post-fertilization events takes place. These common members is in the Polysyphonia, Porifera, and Gracilaria, and then Gelidium. These most of the species we see the name Rhodophyceae. Now we must be compared to as in the three classes: Chlorophyceae, Pheophyceae, and then Rhodophyceae. See here, what are the main characters? First, here classes, common name, major pigments, storage of food materials, and cell wall and flagella, number and the position of the incisions and habit. Now once we compared the three classes, this is in a Chlorophyceae, this is the Phaeophyceae, this is the Rhodophyceae. First Chlorophyceae. Chlorophyceae is called as what? Green algae, because they consist of as in a chlorophyll pigment A and B is present, and when the chlorophyll A and B is present, they prepare their own food material, correct? When that food they are stored in the form of starch, yes, and in this enter the filaments together, they are made up of the cell wall is what? Cellulose, and here the flagell, the mostly the filament means that juice pores has in a 2 to 8 equal apical flagellas as present. Okay, and one more important point here, the spirogyra absent of the flagellas, very important, that is a non-motile. Here make a note, here the spirogyra it is in a consisting non-motile, because here completely they are absent of the flagella in a spirogyra. Okay, next, here what is the habit? Fresh water and brackish water and salt water, these Chlorophyceae members are to survive. And Phaeophyceae, it is called as what? Brown algae, and they are consist of as in chlorophyll A and C pigments as present, and few xanthan pigments also present in that Phaeophyceae. The stored in the food materials in the form of laminarian and then mannitol, and the cell wall is made up of in cellulose as well as in a algine, and two unequal lateral flagellas also present, and habit is fresh water and rarely, that is in a, and brackish water and salt water habits also in this Phaeophyceae they survive. And next Rhodophyceae, it is called as an red algae, and the major pigments chlorophyll A and D, and or phycoerythrin pigments also they are present here, and the stored in the form of food fluorine starch, and here the cell wall is made up of cellulose, pectin and polysulfate esters also the cell wall is made up of. Here flagella is completely absent in the Rhodophyceae, and habit is what? Fresh water and brackish water and salt water in that habits in this Rhodophyceae will be there survive. Okay, these are the in completely the algae to classify into three classes. They are the Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and then Rhodophyceae. Remaining to continue in next class. Thank you for watching.